Every dream begins with a spark. Every success story begins with someone who dared to believe. Behind every entrepreneur is a journey of faith, sacrifice, resilience, and unwavering determination. We know that greatness isn't reserved for a chosen few. It's born in ordinary people who refuse to give up, who rise after every setback, and who chose purpose over fear. I am Patricia, alongside my incredible co-host, Sycel. Together, we believe that when vision is guided by faith and fueled by action, lives are transformed, communities are strengthened, and legacies are built. Welcome to Kingdom Global Entrepreneurs. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Kingdom Global Entrepreneurs. Size, we didn't pray tonight, we'll pray after. Where
Yes.
faith meets purpose and purpose moves us into action. I am Patricia, joined by my beautiful co host, Sycel Holotik. Tonight, we're confronting a powerful truth. Sometimes we're praying for increase while leaving the seed God gave us sitting in our hands. Our topic is stop praying for a harvest from seeds you refuse to plant. Tonight is about faith, obedience, stewardship, and action. Sisal, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right, let's go. Let's get into it. Sis, you wanna say hi to everyone and introduce yourself real quick?
Yes. Thank you everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you were tuning in from. Good to see you, Pat. So yes, those are watching. I'm Sycel. I'm a mom of three and I live in Maryland, USA. I was born in the Philippines. And stay tuned with us. We have a great topic. We know that you can relate, you can resonate with us. And it's about stop praying for harvest from seeds you refuse to plant. Thank you.
Awesome. Lovely. Guys, if you notice, our program starts late tonight because when Sis told me, Pat, I promised my daughter I'll take her to the state fair or city fair or village fair. I said, go ahead, have fun. You know why? Because this business gives us freedom and flexibility and quality time with your family. So
Mhm.
that's why I said, knock yourself out, have fun. All right. So, our topic for tonight is stop praying for a harvest from seeds you refuse to plant. Our theme is faith, obedience, stewardship, and action. So, good night, everyone. Good night, good morning, good evening, and welcome to Kingdom Global Entrepreneurs, where faith meets purpose, purpose meets action, and we learn how to build the kingdom principles. I am Patricia Peters, and alongside me is my beautiful co host, Sycel Holotik. Tonight, I don't just want to encourage you, I want to challenge you. Because sometimes we're asking God for a harvest while refusing to plant the very seed He placed in our hands. So tonight, we're talking about stop praying for a harvest from seeds you refuse to plant. Get comfortable, but not too comfortable because we might disturb a few comfort zones tonight. All right, let's get into it. Let me start with a question. Have you ever prayed, God, increase me? God, change my financial situation. God, give me an opportunity. God, use me. God, open a door. And then God sends something that looks like work, learning, discipline, sacrifice, consistency, a new opportunity, a new skill, something completely outside your comfort zone. And suddenly we say, Lord, I didn't think that's what I meant, right?
Yes.
We want the harvest, Lord. Lord, we want the harvest. But sometimes we don't want the planting.
Mhm.
We want multiplication without stewardship. We want increase without preparation. We want opportunity without inconvenience. And sometimes we want God to change our circumstances while we're unwilling to change our habits. We want God to work like that, right? In Galatians 6:7 tells us a man reaps what he sows. And that's common sense, right?
Mhm.
If you don't sow anything, how are you going to reap? Or you can't want plant baigan and reap squash, right?
Yeah.
Notice the language. It doesn't say you reap what you wish for. It doesn't say you reap what you intend to do someday. It says you reap what you sow. Prayer matters. Faith
Mhm.
matters. But faith was never intended to become an excuse for inactivity. Sometimes we're saying, God, when are you going to move? And maybe heaven is asking, when are you going to move? Peter, get out of that boat. Think about Peter in Matthew chapter 14. Peter sees Jesus walking on the water and says, Lord, if it's you, tell me to come to you on the water. And Jesus gives him one word, come. Now think about this. Jesus didn't climb into the boat, pick Peter up, and put him on the water. Peter had to come. He had to move, right? He had to put one leg over that boat, then the other leg. Imagine Peter saying, Jesus, I believe you can make me walk on water, but I'm staying right here until you prove it. Isn't that something? Sometimes that's what we do. We test God, right? Peter would still be in that boat to this day. The miracle required movement. He wants to go to Jesus. Jesus tell him to come. All Peter had to do is to move, right? And somebody listening tonight may be praying for something that's waiting on the other side of their boat. Your boat may be your comfort zone. Your boat may be fear. Your boat may be your paycheck. Your boat may be people's opinions. Your boat may be, I've never done this before. Your boat may even be procrastination disguised as, I'm waiting on God. And here's the question: what if God is waiting on your obedience? That's a deep question, right? Let's make this very personal now. Everybody watching, put this in the comments. What is your boat? What is the thing you know you need to step out of or step toward, but fear keeps talking you out of it? And don't type somebody else's boat. I'm asking about yours. I will, if it says, let me pause and read the comments. If you guys make comments, what is your boat, guys? I see 21 new messages there. Because here is something we need to understand: faith doesn't mean recklessness, faith doesn't mean abandoning wisdom, faith doesn't mean making foolish financial decisions. Faith, but we cannot keep calling fear wisdom simply because fear feels safer, if you get my drift. Now let's talk business. This is Kingdom Global Entrepreneurs. So let's bring this directly into entrepreneurship. Every business starts with seeds. Learning is a seed. Serving someone is a seed. Developing your skill is a seed. Making a phone call is a seed. Creating the content is a seed. Following up is a seed. Showing up when nobody applauds you is a seed. Starting before everything looks perfect is a seed. And consistency is watering that seed. This is beautiful, right, Size?
Yes, it
That
is.
6 months later, we see somebody else's business growing and say, why is everything happening for her?
Yeah.
I is prospering, and I am sowing seeds and I'm consistently watering it. Baby, She might have been watering. You cannot disappear for 6 months and come back angry
Yeah.
because somebody else's garden grew. We see people's harvests. I plant a squash vine. I plant 15 of them. My brother planted just three. He got 9 squash already. I only got two. Should I pull my hair out and bawl and scream? No, I'm happy for my brother because when he has 9 squash, he shares it. I don't have to share it with the people he already share, right? You don't always see their planting.
Yeah.
The widow's oil. The widow's oil. 2 Kings 4, 1 and 7. Now, this is one of my favorite parts. There is a widow in 2 Kings chapter 4. She's in financial distress. Her husband has died. The creditor is coming. She's facing serious crisis. You all can testify to this. This happens to a lot of you. She cries out to Elijah. And Elijah asks her an incredible question. What do you have in your house? She basically says, I don't have anything except a little oil. Except. That's the word. Except. Because the thing she almost dismissed became the thing connected to her breakthrough. You all might be watching me every day telling you guys about this business and you were disking me, right? But who knows? This business can be your breakthrough. She saw a little oil, but there was potential sitting inside what she already possessed. What's in your house? Somebody's listening tonight. Keep focused on what you don't have. Keep focusing. Somebody listening tonight keeps focusing on what you don't have. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough followers. I don't have the education. I don't have experience. I don't have enough people. I don't understand technology. I don't have enough time. Stop. What do you have in your house? What knowledge do you already have? What life experience? What skill? What story? What gift? What relationships? What opportunity? What have you survived that taught you something somebody else desperately needs to learn?
Mhm.
Maybe you've been overlooking your oil because you're busy looking at somebody else's barrel.
Yeah.
I think this message is on fire tonight, Size. The
Mhm.
oil didn't multiply sitting still.
Yep.
And here's the part I love. The widow had instructions. She had to go borrow vessels. She
Mm.
had to gather them. She
Mhm.
had to shut the door. And then she had to pour. The multiplication happens in the pouring. Oh my God, I have goosebumps. She participated in the process.
Mhm.
And that's where entrepreneurship and faith meets. God can give you an idea, but you have to develop. You have to develop it. God can give you a gift, but you have to sharpen it.
Mhm.
God can give you an opportunity, but you have to show up. God can put people in your path, but you have to serve them well.
Yes.
God can give you a seed, but you still have to plant it. Kingdom entrepreneurship, that's our program. And SICE chose this name for a reason. And I want to make something very clear tonight. Kingdom entrepreneurship isn't simply about making money,
Mm.
it's about stewardship. It's asking, what has God placed in my hands
Mm.
and what am I doing with it? That's stewardship. Because money is a tool,
Mm.
business is a vehicle. Your gifts are resources. Your influence is a responsibility. Your story can serve somebody, and your business can solve a problem. So don't only ask God, how can you bless my business? Ask God, how can my business bless people? Woo!
Yes. Amen.
That changes everything. The parable of the talents. Jesus gave us another powerful lesson in Matthew 25:14, verse 30. A master entrusts resource to his servants. One receives 5 talents, another receives 2, another receives 1. The first two put what they received to work, but the third servant was afraid. So he buried his talent, and that is where it gets uncomfortable. That is where this gets uncomfortable. He didn't lose it partying. He didn't throw it away. He buried it because he was afraid. How many gifts are buried under fear? How many businesses are buried under fear? How many books are buried? How many ideas? How many ministries? How many opportunities? How many dreams? How many people's potential is sitting underground because they're terrified of failing? What have you buried? The line I want them to remember. This is what I want you guys to remember. Maybe your biggest problem isn't that you don't have a seed. Maybe you've been sitting on the seed, and you cannot pray for multiplication while continually burying what you've been given. So tonight's challenge, I want to challenge every person watching us tonight. Before you go to bed tonight, identify one seed, not 20, one. One action you've been postponing, one person you need to contact, one skill you need to start learning, one idea you need to write down, one opportunity you need to investigate, one piece of content you need to create, one business decision you need to prayerfully evaluate. One thing you've been saying one day, and turn one day into day one. Size?
Yes.
And maybe your seed tonight is simply being willing to look at a different possibility. Maybe you've been watching me build online. You're watching Size. Maybe you heard me talk about digital space. Maybe you wondered what I actually do. I'm not asking you tonight to make a blind decision. I'm not asking you to jump into something you don't understand. I'm asking you to do something much simpler. Get the information. Because information doesn't obligate you, information educates you. And you cannot properly evaluate an opportunity you refuse to understand. If you've been wondering whether there was another way to build something alongside what you've already doing, create an additional stream, learn new skills, or build something that belongs to you, I want you to send us the word info and we'll show you what to do. I will let Size take it over now.
Thank you, Patricia. All you said is just so powerful, and I believe that, you know, the topic about stop praying for a harvest from seeds you refuse to plant. Many of us need to hear it. Not just entrepreneurs, but as a people of faith, right? Because sometimes we're praying for a harvest, but we're not planting. We're asking God for a breakthrough, but we're afraid to take the first step. We're asking God for change, but we're holding on to what is familiar. And we're asking God for an opportunity, but when the opportunity comes, we're afraid to move. And sometimes God asking us, what are you doing with what I've already placed in your hands? Which is, it reminds me of the story that you mentioned about the widow, the
Mhm,
oil. Like Elisha asked her, I mean, what do you have in your house? So
mhm,
it's similar in our we
mm.
want the result, but we don't want the process. So we want growth, but we don't want to change. And that's why this topic is really powerful. So you cannot harvest what you refuse to sow.
Mm.
Also, it reminded me in the Bible story about Noah in the ark. One in the Bible story that really probably didn't understand what he was doing. But Noah kept going because his obedience wasn't based on what people thought. So sometimes, as you know, we're just thinking of others around us. We're thinking with all these voices around us, like, what are
Mm.
you doing? So
Yeah.
Noah, he kept going because of his obedience and wasn't based on what people thought. His obedience was based on what God said. And eventually, what happened? The rain came. So the ark that Noah had built through obedience became the very thing God used to preserve him and his family. So,
Wow.
what really Noah teaches me is this story is really, really important. Faith doesn't wait until everything makes sense, right?
Mm.
Faith takes the next step. Noah didn't build the ark because he could see the flood. He
Mm.
built it because he trusted God. And sometimes that's exactly what we have to do. We may not see the results yet. We may not see the customers yet. We may not see the growth yet, but we
Mm.
we may not see the breakthrough yet, but we can still build. We can
Yep.
still learn. We can still show up. We can still plan, and we can still take action because the harvest doesn't come before the planting.
I love it.
So when I look at Noah's story, I can relate it to my own journey. When I started moving from traditional, I still doing my traditional cleaning business, but because I know I cannot do the digital online business because of the flexibility. So I
Mhm.
could not really see the entire picture. Even my own husband was like, asking me, "What are you doing?" you know. And I know some of the people that knows me, like maybe they're
Mhm.
thinking, "What she really?" they don't know what
Mhm.
really I'm doing. And so I didn't know really even me exactly where it would take me. I didn't know how everything would work, but I knew I couldn't keep asking God for something different while refusing to do something different. So I had to start building. I had to learn. I had to show up. I
Yeah.
had to create. I had to be consistent. I had to step outside my comfort zone. Just like Noah had to build the ark before
Mhm.
the rain. Because sometimes we have to build before we see the breakthrough. So that's what faith looks like. And
Mm.
like you mentioned earlier, the stewardship, what God has given you, like the talent, the skill, the idea, the testimony,
Mhm.
the experience, the time, opportunity. But I love when you say that, but what are you doing with it? This is
Mm.
true. God already gave us that talent, but what are you doing with it? Right? So
Mhm.
for sure, some buried it because they're afraid. Or
Yep.
some put it in the bank so that it grows interest.
Mhm.
Same
Yep.
thing in business, in our business. What are you what are you doing with it? Are you just not showing up and not building it, and then you expect for return, right? So that's not aligned with the God purpose for your life. So yeah, so I really love this topic because it can really relate, to even to those that may be aspiring entrepreneur, and they're just not sure what they're going to do. But we are here for all of you, to help you and guide you. And that's the good part in this business. This the beauty of this business is you don't have to figure it out alone, right? So we're here to help you and guide you.
Size, that was amazing. I love our topic for tonight. I got goosebumps saying my part of it. It was touching. It was very, very, gut wrenching, deep, deep message. And don't all of our husbands said the same thing? And the men who joined this business, their wives tell them the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, right. So before we leave tonight, I want to leave you with this. Don't leave here inspired and unchanged. Inspiration feels good. It
Mm-hmm.
feels like church, you feel so
Yeah.
anointed and with the Holy Spirit. Ooh, it
Yeah.
was fire. And the minute you walk out, you're back to your normal ways.
Mm-hmm.
Action produces evidence, right? Tomorrow morning, the seed will still need planting. The phone call will still need making.
Mhm.
The idea will still need developing. The skill will still need learning. The business will still need building. The fear may still be there, but courage doesn't always mean fear disappears. Sometimes courage means I'm moving anyway. So pray, seek God's wisdom, ask for direction, but when the instruction becomes clear, move. Move, guys, move, because you cannot keep asking for a harvest from a
Mhm.
field you refuse to plant. Plant your seed, water it consistently, serve people with integrity, steward what God has placed in in your hands, and trust God with what you cannot control.
Mhm.
And I know we didn't pray earlier tonight. We always pray before we start our program, but here's a closing prayer for all of us tonight. Father, thank you for every person watching tonight. Thank you for the gifts, ideas, abilities, opportunities, and seeds you have placed within us. Give us wisdom to recognize them. Give us discernment to know what you're calling us to do. Give us courage when fear tells us to stay comfortable. Teach us to be faithful stewards, not only of our finances, but of our time, our gifts, our influence.
Webpage and my webpage, you can all you have to do is just register your name and your email address, and then we'll show you how the system works and how you can get started. So we are here to help you learn and grow. Just take that action. So remember, faith, obedience, stewardship, action, build before the rain, plant before the harvest. So entrust God with the outcome. So thank you so much. Thank you, Pat. So to those who are watching, thank you. Just leave a comment or just message us directly if you have any question. Thank you again.
Thank you, Size. On behalf of Size and me, thank you for watching and joining us on Kingdom Global Entrepreneurs. Stop praying for a harvest from seeds you refuse to plant. This week, plant something. Good night, and God bless all of you. Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night. Thank you so much for joining us today on Kingdom Global Entrepreneurs. We pray this episode encouraged your heart, strengthened your faith, and reminded you that God has a purpose for your life, your gift, and your business journey. If this message bless you, don't wait. Take a moment right now to like this episode, share with someone who needs encouragement, and follow our page so you can stay connected with us. Until next time, I'm Sycel alongside my co-host Patricia. Thank you for being part of our kingdom family. May God richly bless you, your family, and the work of your hands. Keep trusting God, keep moving forward in faith, and we'll see you in the next episode of Kingdom Global Entrepreneurs. God bless.